Hi guys, this is Karan this side. So today we'll solve two sum problem. The question number 1 of LeetCode, very famous question, says given an array of integers nums and an integer target, return indices of two numbers such that they add up to target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. Now, the question is very straightforward that the indices of two numbers should add up to the target, and you just have to return the indices of that number. Like for example, in this one, if we add 2 plus 7, we'll get 9. Let's take the next example. As you can see, we have to give the target 6. So 3 plus 2 is 5. We'll see for the next one. 2 plus 4 is 6. So we'll return 6. We could even see like 3 plus 4 is 7. But we got once 2 plus 4, that is 6. So we'll return the vector pair of that. So firstly, for this, what we could do is we'll take two pointer approach for this one. But as we know that they would want be always be sorted, so they might be unsorted also. So taking two pointers like where start and end won't apply over here because it is not sorted. So for storing the indices of each element, we have to take another uh, what we could say, like we have to take another space kind of thing. That is, we'll take an unordered map, a hash map, to store the indices of each element, int comma int, like the first and the second. And let's take the size of the array as n. What we'll do, we'll run a for loop over it equals to 0 less than n. And firstly, we all know that if we have a target, the target is given. So that is a main point over here. What we could do, we could use this target as our one answer. So if we say we want to find out the target, we know that first plus second, like the numbers, two numbers add up to target. If I take the number first and I take any number second, they both add up to target. Now what we could do is, as we are running a loop, we could take the first number and we could subtract it from the target. We could get the second number. So in our unordered map, we could just put up our first numbers and their indices, and we could search for the second number and their indices and return the first and second numbers indices in the answer. So how we will implement that? So we will just take the array starting as int first equals to nums at I, like the loop will start from nums of I, and then we'll take int second is equal to target minus first. And what we will do, we will search second in the unordered map, a hash map of first. Like we'll search if m dot find second is not equal to m dot end. Why I'm taking not equal to? Because if it would be present, it won't be at the end, it would be somewhere in between. And if it wasn't present, then it might show as the end, that is the null pointer. And if it's present, we could simply return the ith value and the m second value, that is the indices. And outside the loop, we will just add up the first into the hash map, so that in the loop we could search for its indices. And we will just put it to the, it's equal to m at first equals to I to its indices, so that we could return m at second, like the ith value, the indices of that number. As we are returning it inside only, it won't come outside. Simply we are just returning a -1 statement over here. That won't matter at all, because they have given us that the input would exactly will have one solution. So the loop will end over here, and the return value will go from here only, it won't come outside. But for the submission, we have to return that value, and the cases are accepted. Let's try submitting and let's see. Okay, so it's 100%. So what we have taken an unordered map. In that unordered map, we are putting all the values of first and their indices. For example, it's 2, we'll put 0, 7 will put 1, 11 will put 2, and 15 will put 3. Like this, we have put it in a hash map uh, in this line. And in each loop, what we are doing, we are finding the second value. How we are finding it? We are just subtracting the first value from the target and finding that second value in the hash map of first. And if it's present, we are just returning the indices of the first value and the second value from the hash map. This is all about two-sum problem. Thank you.